This is the SR-71 Blackbird, and this is what it looks like built in Minecraft Crate Mod. The Blackbird was an extremely fast reconnaissance plane developed and introduced in the 1960s by Lockheed's Skunk Works department. Before retirement in the 90s, the SR-71 set multiple aircraft speed and altitude records, but also saw over a third of the aircraft built lost to accidents. Hopefully, the one I'm about to build will escape that fate. This isn't even April Fool's, this is literally just a copycat. Yeah, interesting. We're here to look at the wingspan and the length, which we're going to multiply by 1.3 in order to get a more accurate one-to-one scale in Minecraft. That is a length of 43 and a width of 23 blocks. So if you've seen some of the other planes I've made, then you'll know that this is going to be a bigger plane. It's going to be quite a bit bigger than some of its contemporaries like the F-14 or the A-10, and it's not particularly similar. Where the frick is my cape? This is the size of what the Blackbird is going to end up being. Quite a bit bigger than that, obviously. Of course, we're going to have the functional landing gear as usual, and we are also going to have afterburners, because this thing definitely had afterburners. It's one of the fastest planes ever. That's going to be part of the goal, is making this thing really fast. Another thing to take note of is that the plane is really thin in most of the areas, according to these diagrams. If we take a look here, I am thinking that this is going to be like one block here, and then there's going to be like 2.5 blocks up here. Either way, this is the center. Getting the shape of this thing right is really hard. I think it's going to be the hardest part of this whole thing. For example, this up front, it's a very gradual slope inward, and the only way I can get gradual is if I am using these things, you know, where you can get like a couple pixels at a time. Initially, I was kind of planning on having the connecting portion be something like this, but I think regardless of how accurate it's going to end up being, I'm going to just make it an entire half block here like this, specifically at this block, so that I can get gradual slopes by using these copycat layers, which you can see I've done back here. This diagram is great for being able to see where the wheels are, and it even makes it look like there's 2 wheels and 3 in the back. Now we're not going to put 2 there or 3 there, but I'm going to try to put 1. I did put 1 there. We'll try to put 3 there, and they look kind of high off the ground. It looks a little higher off the ground compared to something like this. So we're going to see how it looks technically with 3 block tall landing gear. I think right around here is where we're supposed to have the other landing gear shaft as well. Is this going to actually make it behave differently when it sits on these wheels? Like, how's that going to work? Okay, well, the wheel's kind of in the ground. That's a little awkward. That looks cool. That looks cool. I want to have the wheels be like that. I don't know, it's like slightly oversized, but it looks pretty cool. So if I push this button, we should get all the landing gear going, which we just did. I wonder if that's going to cause problems. I don't know if that's going to be too close to where the cockpit is. We might have to spin it backward. That's pretty cool. We're definitely keeping that, I think. And so when I fold this up, we actually are going to have it fold this way, because then it puts it inside the hull. Then there's nothing below it. Otherwise, if you flip it back, then it is just sitting there outside the plane, and it's definitely not supposed to be like that. I think I'm cooking back here with this. It's got the nozzle, which definitely slopes downward and gets smaller. So I've managed to do that here with these brackets and stuff, and we are going to be building something similar to what we did with the back of the F-14 2014. Now, the entire engines on this thing actually ended up being turned into little physics entities in order so that you can still have this decorative looking thing here. But then a little bit further back, you actually had the real jet engines, which don't work if they're obstructed. But obviously, obstructing them with physics entities doesn't count. So I'm probably going to do that with just one block, though, here. We'll probably, I don't know, put a block right here, maybe right there. So we'll put something here that's decorative. And then the afterburner module is going to have to go right here and right here, and then we'll build the rest of the jet engine. Fuel tanks have been a little bit modified now. You used to just stick it next to it, and then you would put the fuel into it. But now it's been changed slightly so that we have a fuel tank connection port, a tank module, and also an input module. This will not take from other tanks. This will not give to other tanks, so I'm sure we're going to end up moving this, but why don't we just stick this here, which is the connection port, and then we could do fuel tanks, input module. So these three are connecting. Yeah, so that basically means that we have extra fuel storage. So I had no idea if that's how we're going to want to leave that. But now you also have to get a fuel hose and then right-click this and link it to that. Or no, maybe link it to that. Okay, you have to click the engine first. And so if I built this the right way around, I should be able to just give this power. Okay, I did not do it the right way around. Oh, it's on. That's good. Although I realize I haven't fixed the weights of this yet, have I? So the boom-bust cycle of switching the Forge versions to try and update things is continuing. It's been non-stop. Oh, it's over, or worse, so back ever since I've done that with various problems. And it looks like it's over for real this time. Because my weight-changing data pack just mysteriously stopped working. These things are supposed to be 10 kilograms. They were 1,000 kilograms, which means the planes can't fly. None of them can, but we're back on the non-updated Forge version, and the only kind of important thing that we lost was just I can no longer use TFMG kerosene from the conversion mod here. It's just Warium kerosene. But that's the way it is right now, because I don't know how to fix that. And frankly, I'm probably just going to release the next mod pack update with this version of Forge anyways, because we want the fewest number of problems and the easiest usage for people. Anyways, you can tell this thing's actually lighter now because it's being moved slightly as opposed to not at all. These jet engines really aren't that powerful, which is why we have to compensate with thrusters and even some in the back to make the afterburners work better. And this is going to be no different. Speaking of the afterburners, to make it as unobtrusive as possible, we're going to be shoving it this way because it has to be shoved out of the way to turn it on and off. Redstone, as far as I know, doesn't really work. Ooh, we can move now. This is going to look kind of insane. We also don't really want to move this fast right now. Speaking of other functional things, we are going to need to do the flaps, and so there's not a great spot to stick them. Like, I can't really identify where the flaps are on the actual plane, other than presumably the back somewhere. But the back is angled weirdly, so it's not a good place. So I'm honestly just going to build the flaps basically here. And we can probably conceal it because, let me get the board so we can conceal it and you won't even be able to tell like on the other planes. So like everything's just going to be hidden pretty much. It's a big plane though, so we probably need the flaps to be bigger than normal, but I don't really know. We're just going to have to find out. We're also going to build the other flaps for rolling the plane somewhere up here. Giving this power is going to start the engine. And doing this will send power through. Landing gear also has its power, and afterburner switchers have their power. Where's the center of mass anyways? I have not looked. Oh, it's all the way back here. I'm very curious as to how this is going to fly. Also, the tails are definitely sloped, so they might be completely decorative, which means somewhere there needs to be some vertical flaps to keep it stable, which means I'm going to have to get creative. In create mod. Oh wait, my cape is back. Why is my cape back? Oh, right, we're in a different version. It's definitely flyable now, although you might have noticed that there were some problems taking off, which there also were with the F-14 and the A-10, where I couldn't get it to take off until the landing gear were raised. For whatever reason, the elevators in the back would not be able to actually push the nose upward enough to get it to take off the ground. I'm not really sure why. I even seem to remember having this problem somewhat with the propeller planes, except for the Stuka, and the Stuka had actual wheels with suspension, meaning that it was kind of bouncy. And I'm thinking that that might have helped it get off the ground. So I was able to solve that, actually, by sticking a thruster toward the front, pointed downward. And so when you activate those flaps, the elevators back there specifically to go up, it will push the front upward, which then allows the whole thing to start moving into the air like a normal plane. And this produces a pretty realistic taking off motion, which you can see right here. I've hooked up rudimentary controls, so it's possible for me to control most things with this. So if you want to take off, you can just start doing that and you'll lift off pretty normally. And the booster might have looked pretty dramatic on the ground, but it's not actually particularly dramatic when you're flying. It actually helps to compensate for what always has felt like an underpowered lifting ability with the elevators, as opposed to a very strong overpowered descending ability where you could go down way faster. So I think it actually makes the flying experience quite a bit better. Another thing I've done is I have got the afterburners working, but it's a little bit more than the afterburners. Let me show you. I was trying to find ways to get the F-14 to go really fast, and I would add an extra thruster or two that would get turned on by the afterburners so that it would increase the speed. However, these thrusters wouldn't really increase the speed beyond 80 meters per second. The point at which it gives you a sonic boom is at 100 meters per second. And you can't go much faster than that unless you're falling. It's kind of hard to. But I wasn't even able to get over 80 meters per second without falling in the F-14, even with the afterburners on. So then it occurred to me, what if I tried adding an actual rocket thruster? Maybe because it's a different type of propulsion, maybe it would be able to accelerate it beyond 80 meters per second, which these thrusters didn't seem to want to do, and obviously the jet engines weren't going to do that either. Those turn on specifically when you turn on the afterburners. I can actually show you. So whenever you're doing that to change the afterburner modules, it actually turns on those rocket thrusters as well. And what this allows you to do is you actually can get going 100 meters per second. You see there the actual afterburners are on. Very easy to take off, of course. But if you just hold this down, you can continue accelerating all the way to 100. And there we get that sonic boom. And depending on how you're flying, you can maintain a little over 100 while not going down. And the important thing is this works while not descending. So this is just decorative. I initially thought that I was going to put some wings there, but there's really no need to when they can be better concealed over here, I think. So it's just that, which is going to be nice, which means the total shape of this from the top down is pretty much done. Looks like a pretty good silhouette. I was just looking at the tails, mainly because I don't really know what the right thing to do with the actual functional tail is. Like, could I build something like this here that would be more or less concealed in the middle? Can I get rid of this? Let's see if you can fly with this. Because I kind of want to just make it decorative. And since it's angled, I kind of want to just make it like a little physics entity or a ship or contraption or something. Just angle it a couple degrees. Well, we seem kind of stable still. And we're going to have more empty room there. So this might work okay. I don't know. The whole thing handles like slightly weirdly. It definitely works, but it's not great. See, that sliding motion there is not supposed to be happening. Looks like making the fin 3 blocks tall gets it mostly stable. So we've just got a central fin, which is kind of interesting. Kind of a unique design, as is this whole plane. Having completed this shape, I've now realized that I have not installed a very important feature for a reconnaissance plane. We don't have any radar on the plane. I actually haven't put radar on any planes yet, and this, I guess, is going to be the first one. We just need to figure out where to put it. Also, I haven't put flares either. Now, I don't think this thing would have actually had flares. It definitely would have just outrun missiles, but I want to give this a try since I learned about it after making the F-14. And then you apparently you annihilate chickens with flares, I guess. If I connect it to the A button, that should just be the number 1 key on my keyboard for activating the flares. I don't know if this is going to work right away or not. I was under the impression I had a problem before. Oh, nope. I guess we're good. I guess we'll also find out if it's bad or not to have it be pointing straight down or not. And maybe it would be better not to do that for some reason. I'm not really sure. But let's try to do this while flying. Oh, that's cool. That looks really cool. Oh, man. It kind of looks like how they often go in real life, where they kind of go down and away. So it's probably better than having it be straight back. Now, what about that radar? Best option is probably to raise this up by a pixel or 2 in the back here, because we have this entire thing that we could fit a radar in, more or less. We could get rid of that, and we could break this block in order to accommodate the link. Then we could put the receiver here. Then we could put, well, a lot of these on here and get a pretty decently long radar. I'm gonna plan to put the monitor right here because I've got this little area where we've got the lectern for the controller, this thing, which, well, you're not really supposed to be accessing, but it's just here. Then we've got these extra seats, so we just need to get the display link, I guess. Use this as the targeted position and drop it onto that. So now we have a forward-facing radar, so if I set the difficulty to normal and we get slimes coming back in, we should start picking up on some stuff. Unless the radar mechanics are going to be so finicky that it's just not going to work at all. No, it just picked up something. But I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure. Oh, it saw some other stuff. Interesting. Frankly, I don't know what is causing it to see stuff versus not see stuff. So sometimes it picks things up, but really it's only got a range of 60 blocks. So it's not particularly amazing. So I guess all that's left is just to texture this with that kind of stealth black pattern and color. There are ridged sections Oh, but they don't run that way. Ugh. The color of the coal blocks is honestly better. It's more like a yellow, gray, brown, black color instead of a blue, whitish black color, if that makes any sense. Like, if you just stick these side by side, I'm convinced this is closer to the matte looking texture on the actual SR-71 Blackbirds. It could be the lighting in this picture. It's hard to say. So this is my new favorite plane by a lot. This thing is insane. It's so much more fun to fly than pretty much all the other ones. We even got those flares. Actually, I didn't check. What do the flares look like with these shaders, by the way? These are probably the best shaders I've ever used as well. Bar none. I just want to check, because I completely forgot I had that. I don't know, it might like not look good. Oh, no, it looks good. It looks very good. This is still Minecraft, but it's quickly approaching, I don't know, a different game. Or real life with some of these clouds that we've got here. These look insane, and I'm all here for it. My mission has always been realism. Hence why I tried to make the builds to look the way they do, and having a realistic environment for the builds only makes them better in my mind. Anyways, I'd say the SR-71 Blackbird is complete. It's definitely the fastest continuously flying plane that we have. I wonder how much faster you could make it if you just continued adding more rocket thrusters to it. I actually did record a speed of over 200 meters per second while falling down from about 5,000 blocks in the air. So, gravity can make this go absurdly fast. Who knows? Maybe we'll be making even faster planes one day. I don't know. But as always, if you'd like to check out this build for yourself, it'll be available over on Patreon along with lots of other ones from the series. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button down below. But thanks for watching. I've been Sbeev. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you guys next time.